Hi, my name is ERIN MICKLOW and I'm here in Athens, Greece. Goodbye! Thanks for the food poisoning! Greece was the last stop on our European vacation for Joe's company work retreat at the all-inclusive resort Club Med Grego Limano. All-inclusive resorts are not our style at all, but it was a free trip paid for by his job, whose headquarters are based in Germany. I'd like to say I had a better time during our 3 days at the resort, but I got the most severe food poisoning I've ever had from the resort food. I was throwing up for about 7 hours before a doctor was able to see me, and even fainted at one point from being so weak and dehydrated. On the last day, I was still pretty weak and afraid to eat the resort food again, so needless to say, by the time we left for Athens, I was elated. It was a 30-minute boat ride followed by a 2-hour bus ride to Athens. When we finally arrived, we checked into our hotel, which we booked using our Hotels.com rewards, so we only paid about $50 out of pocket for the tax for our stay. The bathtub and the cool design of the room really were the main selling points for me when booking at Athens Status Suites. By that point, I hadn't eaten in nearly 2 days, so I was beyond starving. We went to a gyro joint around the corner that some Greek friends of mine highly recommended, and it did not disappoint. It was so good and inexpensive that we even went back for lunch again the next day. Athens is a very walkable city. When we arrived, we asked the hotel front desk about public transportation, and they advised us to stay on foot because in the time it would take to catch a bus and drive to the destination, we could walk there. Plus, we saw a lot more of the city on foot. The clerk also advised us to stay away from the underground trains in Athens because they are not the safest. We literally could walk from one district of the city to the next in 30 minutes or less, and at no point did I feel unsafe walking around. We ate and drank really well on our 2.5 days in Athens. Because their economy still hasn't fully recovered, it was very inexpensive for good food and drinks. I loved how there were so many talented street musicians by the cafes and restaurants. It brought a lot of joy and good vibes to our dining experience. The area of town called Exarchia is famous as a home for Greek anarchists. It's considered an art hub where theatrical shows and concerts take place around the central square. In addition to that, there are dozens of small, quirky, and alternative bars. We went on a Friday night and bar hopped around for a couple hours. The thing I love about the bars in Athens is before you even order your drink, they bring you complimentary water and tapas, aka snacks. Athens reminds me a lot of Madrid in that aspect. It also reminds me a lot of Berlin with all the street art, graffiti, and the way the buildings are designed. After being slightly disappointed by the shopping in London, I was really pleased to see how stylish all the people of Athens were. It was refreshing to see so much personal expression through the clothes people were wearing. The main shopping area in Athens is Ermou Street, and it stretches nearly a mile long lined with store after store. I thought it was really interesting also that many of the stores were located in very old and ornate buildings. After exploring the fast fashion stores on Ermou Street, I was looking for something a little more unique and original. Some other friends of ours from Greece recommended we visit the punk rock boutique Remember Fashion. Remember was founded in 1978 and has had clients such as the Ramones, Blondie, the Sex Pistols, Iron Maiden, Bauhaus, and so many more shop and wear their designs. The owners were telling us that they used to have a much larger shop in the Plaka district, but recently had to move because the building was literally falling apart and it was becoming unsafe. The move to this location is so new that they were still working on moving over decades of memories and merchandise from the old location. The boutique was so awesome, from the decor to the clothes to the owners. I shopped around for over an hour looking at all their gorgeous treasures and ended up buying 2 amazing metallic leather bustiers that are truly one-of-a-kind pieces. One of the touristy things we had to do while in Athens was visit Acropolis. Acropolis sits high on a hilltop above Athens and contains the remains of several ancient buildings of great architectural and historic significance, the most famous being the Parthenon. We walked through a park for about 20 minutes to get there and decided to enjoy the view from a nearby rocky viewpoint since it was €20 per person to actually get in, and there were thousands of tourists and tour groups inside Acropolis. The 360 view of Athens from up there was incredible. We enjoyed the view and watched the sunset with a glass of wine in some vintage wine glasses we bought at a second-hand shop right before heading up the mountain. On our last day, we spent the afternoon walking around the Plaka district, which is known as the neighborhood of the gods because it is clustered around the northern and eastern slopes of Acropolis. With winding streets and neoclassic architecture, the neighborhood is lined with shops, restaurants, and cafes. Plaka is built on top of the residential areas of Athens and was such a beautiful area to take a relaxing stroll. On this trip, Athens was a pass-through city on our way to and from somewhere else, so we really didn't have any expectations or knowledge of the city before our trip. We were surprised by how much we fell in love with the city in just 2.5 days. Next time I would definitely make this a destination location.